Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. We are pleased to be joined by Connor Mosack, of course, who will be competing this weekend in Trans Am for Team SLR. But also next week he'll be busy because he'll be making his NASCAR Xfinity Series debut with Joe Gibbs Racing driving the 18 car up at Portland. How's it going?
It's going well. How are you?
I'm doing well. So how did this deal get put together?
It feels great. I'm really excited for the opportunity. Just got to keep the fenders on the thing and make it to the end and make the most out of it. But it's definitely a big shot here.
So let me ask you this. I know you're excited about this, but how did this kind of come together a little bit?
Yeah, actually, it's kind of a crazy story. Just kind of ran into the Gibbs somewhere and got to talking to them, and actually ended up originally talking to them about running their ARCA car, but they had already had that filled and it just wasn't going to work out. But we've kind of talked about the Trans Am thing and maybe some road courses in the future, but nothing came of it at the time. And then it was probably about 4 or 5 months later, they reached out to us and said that they had a couple opportunities to run their Xfinity car on some road courses and asked if we wanted to do them. And of course we did. And Portland just seemed like it was the best of the options. And it was one of the few that worked out with my schedule. With Portland being a track that is new to everybody and is, no Cup guys will be there. There's no live pit stops. It really made the most sense to start there.
Yeah, I forgot about that because, at Portland, as well as the truck race at Mid-Ohio, there will be no live pit stops because obviously while Xfinity is out in Portland, the pit crews are out at the pit crews are with NASCAR when they are at Gateway or WWT Raceway. Mm-hmm. So have you've raced at Portland, I believe. Have you?
Actually, I've never raced there, but I did get to go run some laps there a couple weeks ago. Yeah. I don't have at least seen the place.
Yeah. So what's that going to be like to make your Xfinity debut this season? Did you think that this is has it kind of been a surreal moment, and have you gotten back to everyone that's texted you?
Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been busy, especially the last 12 hours or so since we announced it last night. But I've known for probably 2 or 3 months now. Just been trying to slowly put the deal together and see exactly what it was going to look like. But I guess really known for sure in the last month. But at the beginning of the year, I would not have expected to be having this opportunity. So I'm just really thankful I get to go do it and represent a great company like Open Eyes, great ministry, and just got to go make the most of it.
Yeah. Also, you're known for making big news. Well, you're going to be running ARCA this week, but you also made some big news a few weeks ago. You proposed to your longtime girlfriend Darren. You guys are getting married. How about that? What's it like to be engaged?
Yeah, it's really no different than it was before, other than now she has a ring on her finger, I guess. But just planning the whole wedding process and been busy with that as well. So other than that, everything else has been the same between the two of us. So, but happy to make that next step and looking forward to, actually being married together.
So, so how much of the wedding are you planning, like on your side of things? Because
almost none for me. I just get asked a lot of questions, but most of which I say I don't know or I don't really care, but some of them I do. So, but no, thankfully I don't have to do most of the legwork on that one.
Okay, sounds good. So going into this season, I know that you've had a lot of opportunities. You've been with Brett Holmes Racing and running in ARCA. You're going to run a handful of races with them. What's that? What have you learned from being in the ARCA car?
Yeah, we've obviously had the 2 races so far at Phoenix and Kansas, and I think just getting more comfortable in that car and on the bigger tracks has been the biggest thing. I've been able to learn a little bit from Brett. Obviously, he was the champion a couple of years ago, and my crew chief Shane Huffman has been really helpful, both behind the wheel and helping us get the car better. We're off a little bit last week at Kansas, but I know the car was still in one piece, and we were able to make a lot of good changes for tomorrow at Charlotte. So I think the car should be better, and I think I'll be a little bit better as well, and hopefully we can go have a better run.
And also, I believe Trans Am coming up this weekend as well, I think.
Yep, I'll have a doubleheader weekend for me. With the weather providing, if the ARCA race gets rained out tomorrow and we have to race it Saturday, I'll have to miss the Trans Am race. But unless they run it after the Xfinity race at night, I may still be able to get both in, but it'll be a tight squeeze. But hopefully, we get it in tomorrow and all is as planned. Although I will have to start from the tail of the Trans Am race since I'll miss qualifying tomorrow.
Yeah. Of course, you're kind of busy with this Trans Am stuff. How many more ARCA races do you have planned this year?
It was originally 10, so we've done 2. Then I added 1. I'll be running the ARCA car at Portland also. Yeah. So I think I'll have 8 or 9 more. Yeah, 9 more.
Is that going to be with Brett Holmes?
Yeah. No, the one out there will be with Bruce Cook Racing. So that'll be good too. He was my crew chief for Michigan last year, and I enjoyed working with him. So looking forward to working with him again.
All right. And just to get this, just to race in the Xfinity Series, it's a lot of road course ringers are going to be out there, and a lot of the Xfinity guys are probably going to run that ARCA West race. So it's what can you take from running both races out there?
Yeah, the ARCA race will get a little bit of practice before the Xfinity race. I think about an hour, so that will definitely be helpful. The races after the Xfinity race though. But, I know just things like I got to go see the track out there before, done some simulator time. And I feel like I'm as prepared as I can be going into a new place in a new car. But the biggest thing for me is going to be adjusting to this car, which, I think there are some things that apply from the Trans Am car. A lot of it just how to approach a road course. But the braking will be fairly similar. I think just, you have to brake earlier and everything will just slow down a little bit. You can't be as aggressive. Turning the car in or applying the throttle, but I think that transition won't be too difficult for me, hopefully, and we can adjust quickly.
All right. Well, Connor Mosack, thanks for spending some time with us. Congrats on getting your first Xfinity star. Congrats on getting engaged, and we'll talk. And good luck next week at Portland, and this week at Charlotte, as well as in the Trans Am race this weekend.
All right, thanks, Casey. I appreciate it and enjoy it.